Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his good friend, Matt, the lumberjack landlord. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing awesome. Super excited to be here. It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday, man.
Monday was long. Re-entry Monday was long. I will not miss those.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you sent me a video yesterday
talking
about the largest housing crash coming, right? The largest of our generation. I'll show the thumbnail in a minute.
Yep.
And I originally was like, dude, I'm not watching another one of these things. I've seen it already. I can already tell you what the script is. And you're like, no, Michael, this one's different.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, he actually did the work.
He did. Yep.
I'm like, all right. So why don't you set it up while I bring up the thumbnail so everybody can see it? But what did you find and why'd you send it to me?
Yeah. So, I mean, again, I consume a lot of YouTube. In fact, very often, I feel like I'm sharing millennial Mike's brain. Like we're going back and forth on the same type of videos. We're constantly looking at them. And so in constantly looking at a bunch of different things on YouTube, I admit it. I went after Graham when I was really annoyed by his last video. And so when I saw this and I was like, all right, let's see what he has to say about it, because I might need to double down.
Right
now, if you look at the screen, that is the thumbnail. That's the thumbnail.
Let's be real. I wish I could do thumbnails like that. let's be real. Let's not hate. I mean, that thumbnail is going to get clicks.
Yeah, and clicks it did. In fact, 211,000 views in 16 hours. Yeah, not even 24 hours, and the guy's got 200,000 views.
Good for him.
Lifetime view on my channel, less than that.
he lapped you in less than a day.
He lapped me with a video. Yes, with a video. But that being said, I went into it. I wanted to see what he had to say because I was going to double down on him and just be like,
yeah, hey, you went into this thinking you're going to go. Yeah,
I went into this saying I want to see what he's saying about this. Yeah. And I was pleasantly surprised. He did the work. He did the work.
I found it amazing. First off, he talked about a lot of things that we've been preparing folks. What we
100%.
The National Association of Realtor report last week. We've been flagging it for a month. Like, this is the one.
Yes.
And again, I have a whole page of notes. So let's just tell you this much, folks. I don't normally take notes on other crash videos because they get kind of repetitive.
Yep.
That really wasn't a crash video. He had a great thumbnail. His title really didn't match the content of the video unless you kind of bend over and go transactions, which he could have said, but I don't think he really did.
No, he didn't. No,
right.
The only thing I find fault with Grandma in this entire video is it's pure clickbait.
Well, the title, yeah, because he could have fixed it by saying,
and the picture like 50% off.
Dude, that's awesome. Hey, again, all he had to say was a 30-second line. This is going to be the largest crash in transactions, and the title would have made sense.
Agreed.
I would buy that. But let's talk about what he had in the video, because he went hard at facts that we have brought up before. And let's just go right to the end of the video. Let's just do this one first.
Sure.
He talked about valuetainment, specifically Patrick Bet-David's call that there are 700% increase in foreclosures. When I heard that in the video, and I'm having a 4-part reaction series, the second one comes out today at 9 o'clock. And I just assumed it was truth. I just assumed it was validated. He or his team went at it. Graham did not assume that. Nope. And what did he find?
And good for him.
Yeah.
Good, because you know what? In all honesty, Mike, there are guys out there that have the street cred.
Yeah.
David is one of those guys.
Yeah.
And I didn't check.
I didn't check either. I said, must be true.
The thing that annoyed me was it was the normal 700% based on nothing, which was
700% when it's 22,000, which means we're coming up from 3,000. That's what that means. 3,000 to 22. And then he compares it to 2008, where we did 2.2 million. Folks, that is 1%.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant. And that is wrong.
I mean, at the end of the day, it just makes you a data poser.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes you a data poser. That's what you are. Because we not only share the percentages, we actually share the numbers. Hey guys, this is what it's looking like, because you and I lived through 250,000 foreclosures a month for 3 years.
Yeah.
For 3 years That's how long a period of time that was. So when they're talking about now being at 33,000 year to date, that's a joke.
Yeah.
It's a punchline. It's nothing. And keep on, oh, foreclosures are coming. No, they're not. No, they aren't. They aren't. They're going to be nowhere. They're barely going to get back to norm. And that's after we shut it down for 2 years. They're going to barely get back to norm because everybody has equity and because they're really going out of their way this time to get into, to have forbearance and to make an arrangement for somebody to stay in the home. They are bending over backwards this time, where last time it was all about, it's your turn, you're gone. It's your turn, you're gone. And literally then just letting out the assets, because if they let them all go at the same time, those banks would have gone bankrupt, because then you would have had to market for what you sold it for. So kudos to Graham. He did the work. He got deep in it. Yeah.
So again, I've shout out Graham. I would have never assumed that Valuetainment would quote a number that wasn't sourced. Never even occurred to me. But Graham found it. It was apparently it was quoted by somewhere, and then everybody else copied it, near as Graham could tell. So good for him. The other thing that Graham talked about that we've brought up for over a year now is how long foreclosures take. Graham highlighted that the average foreclosure, should it happen, will take 917 days, which, oh, by the way, folks, is about 3 years.
It is.
So let's just assume someone starts foreclosure today. Congratulations. You might see it in 2025.
For those people that thought I was making a joke, because that's usually what I will do.
Yeah.
When I said we will have a great market sometime in 2024 or 2025, now you see what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's because it takes that long for them to get through the cycle. And the other big thing that comes along with this is that the banks are bending over backwards, trying to keep people in their homes. It's a completely different environment than it was then.
Yeah, no, and people really need to understand the difference. I went through the last cycle. I've done all the math, all the work. If you got down 90 days late in the last cycle, you were 98% going to lose the house. There were 2% people that cured. Yep. We just had forbearance for 18 months where it peaked at 4.8 million, less than 1%, less than 1% lost the home.
That's right.
Banks are incented cure. They realize that what they did last time doesn't work. They will do whatever they can. And then here's the final thing. We live in a world where rent on houses is skyrocketing. In the past, if you were going to lose your home and do a strategic default, once you eventually left, you went to a rental and rent was less than your mortgage payment. Because again, bad debt structure, teaser loan blew up. It was unaffordable, a la what I fear in Canada, frankly, right? When they reset their arm. Same story. That's not happening today. 98% of loans through 2021 were fixed. Black Knight tells us that 13% of them are less than 3%, which is laughable. 50% less than 3.5%, and 80% less than 4%. They're not moving. They will get roommates before they leave.
100%.
So foreclosure's not coming. Sorry, just not a thing.
Still not coming. And I think the other thing too is real quickly on the Canada point, Canada and Australia, get ready for the pain.
Yeah.
I feel bad for those folks. It's going to be rough. However, that said, I'm very interested to see if Canada's figures to be saved, if they open up their doors to foreign investment again. Yeah, they could do a couple of things. They could open up back up to foreign investment. They could extend and pretend, right? Just give everybody another 5 years. There's lots of things they could do. But having studied Canada's economy and specifically their finance arm for the last month, historically speaking, it's not going to be the second one. Not going to be the second one. Yeah. Again, they could change in a minute, but who knows? Sure. So back to the National Association of Realtors. Again, Graham talked about it. He highlighted first-time home buyers up to 34%. We want that. What did we talk about? We think FHA and VA buyers are going to have a fighting chance, and they should. So that's coming back. But real quickly, so the investor piece, right, that he mentioned in the same line with that, which was what, 16%? 16, yep. Let me help everybody with the math. I'm really good at it. 84% of homes being purchased are not by investors. 84%. Investors are taking everything. No, we aren't. No. 16%. That's the number. Yep. Then he did some great research from 1978 to 2022 about nominal and real. Again, on this channel, we've been trying to educate people on that. He talked, because again, one of the things that Patrick Bet David and Valuetainment talked about is interest rates in the 70s peaking at this. And oh, by the way, they're coming up, so crash. Well, Patrick, if you would go back to the housing
chart from those years, you would realize that even at 16%, we had home appreciation.
We did.
And we did. Now, as Graham talks about, shout out Graham, we had nominal home appreciation and we had real home depreciation, right? Because again, inflation was above. So again, Graham has done the work. Shout out Graham, great video. I actually replied, which I almost never reply to videos. I said, Graham, fact-based discussion, well done. And I think the end of Graham's kind of 15 minutes or 12 minutes, whatever it was, is no housing crash coming. That's kind of my takeaway.
It was all the things, quite frankly, all due respect to Graham. We've been on this for 6 months.
Yeah. And we've been taking heat. What I like is you and I have been taking shots.
Oh,
now I could just forward Graham's video. Watch this one. He's got 3.2 or 3.9 million subs. Watch him, because he's saying the same things we are. He just says it better with prettier pictures.
I mean, he's a pretty person too. I mean,
oh, he's a good looking guy. And he's got, he actually showed a baby dolphin this time. He always shows a pretty little creature somewhere. Hey, smash the like button and this pretty dolphin. I'm like, dude, the guy's so creative. He's subtle.
He's nailed. I mean, he just nails it. He's, like I said, so what I really appreciate is it's data driven. It is fact-based. It's not feelings.
No.
And I hope what's really valuable is that, you know, Valuetainment is getting more clicks on this series than he's ever gotten on anything ever in the history of his channel.
Yeah.
But bad thing is that it's not his best moment when it comes to the data. It just,
but well, yeah, I mean, Graham proved that, right? 700% not a good number, right? And I talked about I did a 4-part series. And again, the thing about Patrick that he did great is he asked for feedback. At least that's how I took it. At the end of the video, said, hey, if you disagree with me, give me some feedback. So I said, hey, that sounds like permission to give you my thoughts. So I did. Part 2 comes out at 9 a.m. this morning. Part 3 tomorrow at 9, and then part 4, where I take on the foreclosure thing, is on Thursday. So
yes. I think I was super appreciative. Just general impression of Graham for me, general impression is he is the nice guy that people talk about.
I think so too.
He's absolutely super nice guy. He is way more of an adult than I am. I have no problem saying that.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
It's fair and true.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And I think that sometimes entertainment gets in the way of facts. And so I think in this particular case, he did a fantastic job in making sure that the facts, you know, yes, it was entertaining, the video, because most of his are, but he really nailed the facts. He got the numbers right. He got the facts right. And I agree with his take, because it's the same take that you and I have had for 6 months, grinding it out, getting told we're idiots.
Yeah. And people are coming at us hard, and I'm just gonna, what I'm gonna do, folks, is I'm gonna delete all the notes in this video. I'm gonna put the URL to Graham's video. I would love some of my students and followers to watch that video and count how many things that we've brought up over the last 6 to 9 months, because I bet you it's a list of 5 or 6. I'm like, yep, they talked about that. Yep. And then again, I'm just gonna send Graham's video, because again, he lapped you in one video. I think that's funny.
Yeah, he totally did. And what I would also encourage people to do, if they're going to do that, I would also encourage them to leave him a note saying that he did a great job.
Yeah, please.
I am the first one to tell somebody they did a great job. I'm also the first one to start putting my boot on to figure out where I'm going to put it on your butt when you do a bad job. Yeah. That's just the way I'm built. But kudos to him. He nailed it. He got his numbers right. He did the research, because he went a step further than I did.
Me too.
I saw the 700 number. And I was like,
must be true.
He's just picking a number, or he's just picking the market where it was 700.
Yeah.
However, Graham did the work. Kudos to him. I think he did a great job on this video.
Very cool, man. Thanks again.
Thanks, Mike.